Hey, what's up guys? It's John Kai, the Hawaii guy with Urban Nest Realty. How you doing? Happy New Year, everybody. 2022, can you believe it? My God, time does fly. Well, today I want to share with you my outlook on what's happening in the housing market here in Las Vegas and in general, and provide you with my 2022 housing market outlook. So 2021 was crazy, we all know that, but it was a hot housing market in Las Vegas, and I'm sure it was the same wherever you're viewing this video from. The COVID-19 pandemic messed up with the home buying process tremendously. It was difficult for a lot of buyers who couldn't go in to see the homes. They actually had to do video tours instead of the actual process of actually walking into a home, thinking about the home, going back to see the home. That wasn't the case in 2021, and guess what, folks? 2022 is going to be no different. Historically low mortgage rates and an inventory shortage across all price points created an even hotter market with many homes selling for well above asking price. And that's not going to change. Now, no one knows exactly what's going to happen in 2022, but many experts expect similar trends to continue because we have higher prices, low inventory, and fast turnaround times. In short, expect a seller's market to continue in 2022. And with that in mind, here's what you need to know if you plan to buy a home in 2022. I hate saying the name, I hate saying that over. With that in mind, here's what you need to know if you plan to buy a home in 2022. First of all, number one, inventory will remain scarce. And that is definitely the truth. Even before the pandemic, there was a low stock of housing in the country. The COVID-19 supply chain issues and labor shortages have only made things worse. Builders are trying to ramp up production, but they're starting to feel the pressure. And as a result, you're going to see higher prices all the way around. Here in Las Vegas, for example, when it comes to inventory, single family homes, the inventory level is less than 1 year. Okay, that's ridiculously tight. This is indicative of strong seller's market. Now, the median home price sold is currently at $420,000 for a home here in Las Vegas. The median price of new listings is up to $435,000. So you can see prices going up, inventory still low, it's still a seller's market. Now, the same applies for condominiums and townhomes. The inventory level is at 6 months supply. That's even tighter than the single family home market. The median price of condos and townhomes sold in is currently at $240,000, and the new listings are coming in at $244,000. So again, a tight market and increasing prices. Another thing to concern yourself with is interest rates. Interest rates will continue to rise. The Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates a few times in 2022, which means that mortgage rates will follow. Some experts predict the 30-year fixed mortgage rate will jump to 3.6% as compared to an average of 3.3% now. It's still low, my friends. My first mortgage was at 8.5%, and I benefited by refinancing just about every 2 years. So 3.3% to 3.6% is a steal in my eyes. So don't let interest rates be a concern for you. Just recognize that they will be rising, and that'll impact the amount of house that you can actually afford based upon lending requirements. Another thing to concern yourself with or consider is that prices will not drop. I know a lot of people out there are waiting for the housing market to crash, expecting it to be similar to 2008, 2009, that time period. Well, don't hold your breath because that's not going to happen anytime soon. Buyers that are hoping for a price drop are going to be out of luck in 2022. The tight housing supply, strong demand, and low mortgage interest rates will continue to give sellers the upper hand. Potential buyers can expect more of the same entering into the market. Prices will likely continue to climb, and in fact, Zillow predicts home values will rise by 11% this year, which is a pretty big jump for housing valuations. And that's on top of the big jump that it took place in 2021. So if you bought a home in 2019, 2020, or anytime before that, you're sitting pretty. You're looking at maybe 30% increase in your equity in your property. Maybe it's time to consider refinancing. Maybe it's time to pull some of that equity out and buy a second property. Who knows? Let me help you decide that. Another thing to consider is that new home buyers will be at a disadvantage. The story remains true. It has always been the case. Millennials right now who are at the peak first-time buying age will remain at a disadvantage compared to older generations when it comes to buying a home. So face it, homes are much more expensive today than when they were when boomers first bought their homes. Also, boomers are staying in their homes a lot longer. They live longer. There's a growing trend right now among boomers looking to age in place. Instead of uprooting and moving to someplace else, they're just gonna age in place and modify the home to accommodate their new health phase that they're entering into. First-time home buyers are likely to need financial help from family and friends to come up with a down payment. Now, not everybody has rich family members or rich friends that will easily help them out, so that's always going to be an issue. Housing affordability in the US has been an issue for buyers for some time, and there doesn't seem to be any relief in sight on this piece right here. And then finally, buyers need to be prepared. If you're going to enter into the marketplace to buy a property, be prepared as if you're going to war. And this means doing research ahead of time, being online, looking at Zillow, looking at Realtor.com, any of those sites to give you an idea of what's happening in the marketplace. But also, you should be working closely with a realtor who can give you timely information about the market that you're interested in. Get your financing in tip-top shape. You need to make sure that you're pre-qualified and ask your lender to do a desktop underwriting report for you. This is more than just a pre-qualification letter. This has some serious meat on the bones. So when you go to market and you do put an offer, your agent and lender can present to the seller's agent a strong offer with a real bona fide pre-qualification. You need to also monitor listings, including coming soon listings in areas that you're interested in buying. Working with a buyer's agent like myself to guide you through the process will help you understand the characteristics of that particular market, also about the homes in that area and the trend of new development or anything positive that might be shaping the future of that particular area. You also need to be prepared to visit the property quickly. You can't take your time when you're looking at a home in 2022. You have to look at this property and make a decision right off the bat. As you exit, sit in a driveway with your agent and come to a conclusion as to whether or not this is a home that you're going to make an offer on. Because the chances of you being able to go back and visit a second or third time to look at the home again are slim to none. So you need to be prepared to move fast and move quickly. That being said, you don't want to overpay for a property. That's why you need to be working with an agent who can look at the comps and look at the trend and see if paying 3% over list is reasonable. But you need to stay within your budget. Don't get sucked into this FOMO, fear of missing out. You don't want to be that guy. Okay, and then finally, you may need to readjust your sights when it comes to buying a home. Maybe you can't buy that single family home with the 4-bedroom, 3-bath swimming pool, gated community with a loft and everything is already done for you. You might have to consider a fixer-upper or a condominium or a townhome as your starting point. There's no shame in that game. Everybody's got to start somewhere, and starting with a condominium or a townhome will give you insight as to whether or not this is for you, whether or not you are a homeowner, somebody can handle the responsibilities that come with home ownership. And if it works out and you do see price increase on that property that you purchased as your stepping stone, who knows, you might be able to hang on to that, take equity out of that property and buy a single family home. And now you have a rental, which is producing positive cash flow, and the home that you're gonna live in. That's a great situation to be in. 2022 will be another challenging year for buyers, but it can be a successful one if you are prepared. For sellers, what do I need to say? 2022 is gonna be a great one for you, but don't be greedy. Don't overprice your home. You're gonna be wondering, what's wrong with that property? Why is nobody putting an offer in? Why is it still sitting there? I'll tell you why it's still sitting there, because you got greedy and you priced it too high. Don't be that guy. Work with an agent that has your interest in mind and is going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So if you're a buyer, seller, or investor, I can help you in 2022. Reach out to me, your friend, your guide, John Kai, the Hawaii guy. Aloha everybody, and make 2022 a great year.